Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. Today we're doing a video comparison between these two. We have got Srixon ZX4 against the Mizuno JPX923 Hot Metal. Now, these are both at the full one side of the range of irons when it comes to distance, forgiveness, help, that kind of idea. And then all at the other end, you've got the forged from Srixon and also 221, the blade. So these are fully on the way to what people are seen as the high handicap options. I personally don't like that classification of irons or saying that any kind of handicap needs to have these kind of irons. I much so prefer to call these the irons which golfers need when they struggle for strike and they struggle for distance, because these are very much so distance inspired irons and also well, forgiveness based, so you can hit it all over the face. And when it comes to forgiveness testing, I'll be whacking these all over the face and stuff like that, or at least showcasing what these things do differently to each other at the back end of the video. Now, I've already done full reviews of these, so there's no point in going into the details about what's or different when it comes to there, because they're basically very, very similar. They're all after maximum help, maximum forgiveness, low further back CG, and very springy faces. Right, let's go get the simulator going. So it's a case of I've got it set up as a hybrid at the moment. That's no good because these are irons. Let's go change the data set very, very quickly, and let's go start with the Srixon first. Data set now changed. ZX4 on the screen now rather than the hybrid. So when I pop this information up on the screen, it will come through as an iron rather than a hybrid. But yeah, it's all labeled ZX4 now. Can't remember what colour I'm going to get. Doesn't matter. We'll hit it and see. So Crosswater Golf Club, 190 yards with a 6 iron, 25 or so odd degrees. These are fairly strong, lofted. So when it comes to getting custom fit, you have to make sure you get custom fit correctly, because you can run out of height, peak height and descent angles with very distance inspired irons. But again, yeah, when it comes to looks between these two, actually the ZX4 is slightly smaller. In its entire shape, it's just not as big, so the sole thickness is not quite as deep. The top line doesn't seem quite as thick, and blade lengths do not seem as big when it comes to the length and also the height of the head as well. So if you're looking for sleekness, if you're someone who's looking for a distance inspired iron but doesn't want to see a Goliath, then this is one of the smallest ones around. But then the JPX, the Hot Metal, has got the real estate win when it comes to the size. But right, let's go give this one a hit and see if any winner whatsoever of the feel. Oh, not off the bottom of the golf club. What a shot that was to start with. Wave to it, go on, go in the bunker. Go on, there you go. It's going to be a nice easy shot. He rolled into the bunker, that's my fault. Face, oh, okay, it wasn't too bad. Foresight from the inside, face was 0, but look, nice and low on the face, which exacerbates curvature. Now, I've got this pin, obviously the middle of the green, and I've got it set straight for the pin. If I was doing this in real life, I'm aiming left. Why? Because I either hit it straight, or my tendency pattern is to miss off to the right slightly. So I either go straight or miss right, straight or miss right. That's kind of my pattern. So I aim for it. Well, normally I'm in the middle. So this, if I miss at all, it's going in that bunker. Better hit, same little baby fade. Much better. Oh my word, look at that. Oh, these are punchy old girls, I tell you. As I warm up, good strike, face open again. That's why a little baby fade. But 1.41 efficiency. That has got some serious poke to it. 35 yards in the air, 46 degrees descent angle. That is stopping on any green at 197 yards. Oh. 25 or so degrees this is. Again, I'll stick it up on the screen for you to see. Yeah, I mean, okay, this is stronger than my 5 iron. I play blades, of course, much more traditionally lofted, so these things are like that, 197. But saying that, I think I'd even struggle at 197 yards for my 5 iron to do that, and that's got more loft. I'll do a test afterwards, because that'll be an interesting one for me and me alone. Oh, that's terrible. That's toey. Am I going to hit the green? Well, I kind of hit the left edge of the green. Oh, as soon as I hit that, I just reacted to it like it was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. I'm having a good hitting day today, but again, I suppose I am hitting game improvement irons, so it's better today to do these than it is a blade off. But not much you can say about that, apart from that was my fault and I'd done a rubbish job. 14mm toe, 6mm height was just horrific. 2.4 closed. Yeah. Can I have that one again? Mulligan? No, it's all on board. Warm up, Jay. Better. Back to my normal little baby fade. Just nice. What am I? 91.9 miles an hour, so I've still got some warming up to do. My 7-iron speed normally is around about 92, 93, so I'm a bit shy at the moment of speed. But again, that's on warm up. But I'll do, when I do the comparison between these two, I'll hit a load of shots with both of them when I'm fully warmed up, so we won't have to worry about me warming up on camera. But it's going 34 yards in the air, 46 degrees of center angle. It's doing really well. That's stopping any green at 194 yards carry. You cannot, I mean, these do feel nice. They do, well, when you hit them properly. I'm surprised at just how soft they feel. I say soft, how quiet they are. I mean, okay, they're a game improvement iron, so you put this up against a blade and it's just completely polar opposites. Some people care about feel, sound, some people don't. And so for people that care about sound, you can feel these are poppy, yes they are, but then these are like super game improvement, hollow head, face springy design. So you're gonna have to always understand that. But for the people who don't care about sound, well, it doesn't really matter. Slightly toey, slightly turny. Still very good. Oh, look at that. 1.41 efficiency, and that is not the middle. 0mm high, 9mm toe. That's 1.41 for 9mm toe. Now, it'll be interesting to see when I actually get these put together when it comes to the forgiveness side of things, because it will be interesting to see if there's any differences between these or not. Let's go flick over to the JPX923 Hot Metal, winner of the longest tight oil award, and see if there's any differences when it comes to looks, yes, feel, possibly, and then performance. Right, data set now changed. I am the same place, same distance, different golf club. I've got the JPX923 Hot Metal in my hands, and yes, when you look at it, it is the bigger of the two, and it's not until you pick them up and have a look at them that you realize it's not much, but there is a difference when it comes to the Hot Metal. Hot Metal is slightly larger in different aspects. It's got the, well, the top line is thicker. It's just that the fact that the JPX has got like a chrome barring at the back, which does make the top line not look as big, but when you look at it, it has got a bigger top line. No different when it comes to the sole plates. The sole plates are slightly bigger and the blade links are slightly bigger. There's not much in it, but there is a slight difference. So the winner, if you're looking for real estate, goes the Hot Metal. The winner for the real estate, if you're not looking for it, goes the ZX4. Right, same distance. Let's go give it a hit and see if there's any difference in feel and performance between the two. Well, the winner for the left ball goes for me. That is, oh my word. Wow, that is carrying. So that's, I'm cheating there. That's slightly closed face. There you go. So 1.40 efficiency is good, but 198 yards. Well, it will go that way. Although saying that, it's not like a huge loft drop off. So it's not like I cheated, shoved the face left and closed the loft off. That was 6mm heel. I could feel it, didn't feel great. That's my own fault. But it's a springy face and it's doing its job. That's a better hit. Better hit. Better everything. Cool, these irons go a long way. Now, as I'm warming up, they'll probably go even further. What's that? 1.41 efficiency. Path, face to path, just strike was pretty good. 37 yards in the air, 48 degrees of center angle. Now, I'll be honest, as I'm warming up, these will go fractionally longer. These will go fractionally higher than the ZX4. That's not saying the ZX4 is worse than the JPX, not at all. It's being honest, I'm starting to warm up slightly. So as I swing faster, there will be a transfer of energy more into that, and obviously whatever launch angle goes with slightly faster ball speed, it will go up higher and all that lot. So take everything into account. But feel-wise, oh, if I had a gun to my head and I had to say one thing or the other, I would say the JPX feels fractionally softer, quieter. This is not it's not a forged head and it's not a hollow head. It's a cavity back design with a badge which is covered, and it just controls face flex and resonance and stuff like that. So different designs, but they are the maximum help side of the offerings for both companies. Right, let's give this another one a hit, because I must admit the sound this one makes and the springy off the face is quite fun to do. Oh, that's terrible. Well, I suppose 1 for 1, isn't it? I did the same thing, just reacted straight away as soon as I hit that. Well, I suppose I did it with the ZX4, so I suppose even worse. I suppose I might as well do it with the hot metal. Wow, it was that bad. I nearly let go. There's not really much you can say about that, apart from somehow it managed to get on the green. I don't think if I'd done that with a blade, wow. Now there is this, I will say this, and I've done this over years of testing. When I've tested these irons, and these are the game improvement irons, are the ones with the maximum help and maximum everything else. Because of the real estate size, I get very lazy with my strike, and I've noticed this over years of testing, that you give me the smallest blade ever, my brain goes, gotta hit the middle, focus, focus, focus. When it goes to these kind of things, my brain goes, close your eyes, you'll be fine. But I can see why. I mean, that was horrid. 12mm low, 5mm heel, face slightly open. I mean, that's normal, but it was just a strike, and it still managed to get there. Yeah, I wouldn't have got away with that if that was my blade. I'd have fuzzy, really sore fingers right now. There you go. That is, I am not doing the same thing again. Look at the carry on that. Yeah, now warming up, 95 miles an hour. Yeah, these things go. And I've got this pin set at 190 and I really need to set it a little bit further back, because that's carrying 10 yards past the pin. Good delivery, it's 38 yards in the air, 47 degrees of center angle. It's just working really well. Right, one more before I give these both a hit, because it's really difficult for me to actually say which is going to be a winner between these two. Now I'm warmed up and I'm going to go hit these. It'd be interesting to see if I can control my speed and make sure I don't get carried away with either one, because this is so much fun to hit these. I could say, well, let's swing it full out, let's get 100 mile an hour or so swing speed and see how far these will go. That's not the idea. The idea is calm yourself, hit a certain number. Right, last one, let's control the speed. Not the greatest of strikes in the world, slightly low, but speed is under control. Again, there we go. Got the distance we want, 192, 1.39, even from slightly low, slightly heely. It's still very, very good. Now, okay, let's go hit these a load of times. I'm not quite sure which one's going to win out of these two or not, but we'll hit these as best I can do, as like for like as I can do, hit a big enough data set so we can get a good average to see if there's a clear winner when it comes to flight differences between the ZX4 and the JPX923 hot metal, and see out of the both of them which one is more forgiving than the other. Right guys, after hitting a load of shots with the ZX4 and also the 923 hot metal, firstly I want to apologise for my terrible performance on camera. Again, I am human. We all have good days and bad days. Probably should have left that one for the blooper reel, some of those strikes, but they're in there, and so there you go. It's there for everyone to see. Let's go have a look at the differences between the 923 hot metal once I've hit them loads and loads and loads of times and then calmed swing speed to a normal for me. I've done this swing speed test. I've done this test at my normal swing speed. So yes, when it comes to these irons, one would say that possibly they're not for people of my speed. Now that's right and that's not necessarily right, depending on what people require, what their missed parts are, if they need forgiveness, if they need height, if they need help with distance. There's so many different requirements from golf clubs. I could do this test at 17 different swing speeds, but I'd be here all day. So you guys know with your own strikes, with your own tendencies, what you need, and then you can see within this if there is one or the other that does a better job of the other in whatever you require. So let's go have a look at the averages first. JPX923 hot metal, ball speed 130.6 miles an hour, launching at 17.3 degrees, spinning at nearly 5,000, which is not bad at all. Peak height is at 38 yards in the air, which is lovely, nice and high, and descent angle is 48 degrees, well past the 45-degree number that I like to see any ball going into a green for control purposes, and a carry of 193. Let's go over to the Srixon ZX4, 130.3 miles an hour rather than 130.6, so we are talking 0.3 of a mile an hour, no difference whatsoever. And we're going 17.4 degrees rather than 17.3, again, no difference at all, and spinning though at 4.6 rather than 4.9, so there is 305 RPM difference, and it is past the standard deviation numbers on the bottom, so it is past statistical blurring. It's like that a few times. So the JPX923 hot metal does spin a fraction more than the ZX4. So descent angles and peak heights are basically identical. We've got 38 yards in the air and 47.5 degrees. Remember that 38 yards is a rounded number, so there's a difference between 37.5 and 38.4. We could be talking separations like that, but for rounding purposes, they both go the same height. It's stopping on any green. And actually, the ZX4 carries 2 yards further. 2. Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all, 1% nearly. It's such a small amount, it's daft. Let's go have a look at the clubhead data, because what I have done, I've also added in my MP20 5 iron. Now MP20 5 iron, I think it's 1.5 degrees in loft difference between these two. 923 hot metal first when it comes to clubhead data, 93.2 miles an hour, efficiency is 1.4, very, very good. Attack angle is 2.2 degrees down, club path and face to path is very, very straight, very target orientated, very close to zero. And loft is 22 degrees. Face impact, 3mm toe, 1mm low, fairly middle. Finally, when it comes to the Srixon ZX4, clubhead speed 93.1, so again we are talking 0.1 of a mile an hour, which is next to nothing. Efficiency though, 1.40, exactly the same. These faces are very, very quick and very, very close. Attack angles within 0.2 of a degree, and club path and face to path again, as you can see there, very 0.0. Loft again 22 degrees, but let's get into the 0.0s of a degree, or 0.7 of a degree difference between these two clubs. So anyone who wants to critique it into the point of degree, 0.7 of a degree difference. And 2mm low, 3mm low is the impact against 3mm low, 3mm toe, 1mm low. There's 1mm in it when it comes to standard deviation as well. So let's go over to the club compare screen. First of all, I'll just have the normal JPX923 against ZX4 in there so you can see. And if you're going to zoom in and you're going to critique it like properly, I would say that you can see the blue of the JPX923 hot metal is fractionally higher peak height than the red. It is such a small amount, it is not even worth bothering talking about it. And then you've got the 2 yards extra that the Srixon ZX4 gives because of the spin rate being 300 RPM less. And that's what it will do. It'll make it peak height not quite so high, and it will descend not quite so steep, and it will give you a fraction more. But again, if I did this test 3 times, I would get, well, I think when it comes to this, fairly similar, but it's such a small amount, it's not even worth worrying about. And then when you look at the dispersion rings, I wouldn't even look at the difference between the red and the blue. They both left and right, very, very similar. It's just one shot of the ZX4 ran through a little bit further than the rest, and of course it just blurs the data very, very slightly. Within reason, there is no difference between these two at all. And if you look at the club head side of things, you can see there that they are so close, it's silly. Now let's go add the data now in for the MP25 iron, my MP25 iron. So you can see straight away, but if you look at the graphics, you can see that the purple, that's a good choice of colour by me, by the way, it blends into the background, lovely. The purple doesn't go as high as the other two. Straight away doesn't go as high as the other two. The distance is basically the same, the carry numbers, but you can then see that the peak height is not as high and the descent angle is not as steep, so you haven't got as much control, you haven't got as much peak height with the blade. Remember, if you look at the bottom part of it, you can see that the loft is very, very, very similar, 22.6, 22.4 and 21.7, within reason, within a degree, all of them, 0.9 of a degree. You can see the efficiencies, 1.37. You're not, these springy faces of the ZX4 and the JPX923 hot metal win over a blade, and so there you'll find the difference in efficiency, the springiness of the face, how much bang for your buck do you get. And this transitions through club design all the way from super springy faces that we've got here to the basically slabs of metal that you get with a blade. With a blade or a player's iron, you have to do the work. When it comes to these with the springy faces, they do some of the work for you. This is why people go into game improvement irons, or I call them more like distance related irons, because of that springy face. And you can see there that it doesn't launch quite as high, the ball speed isn't quite as high, even though my club head speed is higher. So again, I have to do more work to get the same distance out, but I still don't get the same dynamics out. It goes lower and it descends not as steep. This is why I do not go into a 4 iron, because my 5 iron is my longest iron before the descent angle, my control in a 4 gets a little bit suspect. That's why I go to a hybrid, as what everyone else should do. They should transition into the hybrid or any kind of golf club which is going to help them with launch, peak heights and descent angles as they go through the bag. I've captured one here for my 5 iron very, very quickly before I go into the forgiveness side of things. This one's basically middled. Yeah, absolutely middle. 4 mil low, that's all it was. Path is 1 degree across and face is 0.7 of a degree. Dynamic loft is 21.8, very much so like the Srixon. And everything there is as good as I really could hit it. And efficiency is 1.37. Again, when even the ones that you saw on camera, the ones that I didn't miss, were 1.4, 1.41. And so this is the difference that you're going to get. A blade or a player's iron cannot compete against the like-for-like lofted, springy faced irons. You're just going to get more out of it. You're going to get more ball speed, you're going to get more launch, and you're going to get a adequate same amount of spin. And no different when it comes to the flight. You can see there 35 yards in the air, 46 degrees descent angle. It's a good shot, but it's still not going to go anywhere near the 38 yards on average that the other two gave. Right, quickly, I just want to talk about forgiveness side of things, because normally now I go into the forgiveness side where we talk about all the different types of shots that I've hit and where they're forgiving and not. I kept on hitting shots, and after looking at all the information, crunching the information as I do before coming on camera, I looked at it, and very quickly I'm working out that this could be a long drawn out video of basically critiquing nothing. The only difference I can find out between these two, literally the only difference I can find, is the ZX4 is slightly, when I say slightly, it's slightly more forgiving off of heel strikes than the hot metal. If you go to the toe side, the hot metal is fractionally more forgiving than ZX4. Why? Because the JPX923 series have got that stability frame V chassis or whatever they want to call it, which is biased towards being more forgiving off of toe strikes. When it comes to the ZX4, it's a more of a neutrally designed head, so you're going to have equal amounts of help off the heel and toe, where when it comes to the hot metal, it's more middle. They all, obviously, you can see they all work out the middle, but it's more biased towards the toe when it comes to its ultimate forgiveness. So depending on where you hit it, low on the face, they are no different whatsoever. So middle, low on the face, no difference. Heel, ZX4, slightly, and then no different to the toe. It's hot metal, slightly, but that's it. So if you know which one you miss out of, either heel or the toe, as a miss, obviously we all like to hit the middle, but then if you deviate one way, if you know which one it is, you can make a determination then which one might work better for you, but it's still marginal. There's marginal differences in performance, between these. I mean, you can saw by the trajectories, they are so close. They are basically within reason identical. And I reckon if I'd done this test 5 times, I might get 5 different results every single time I do it. So these are possibly the 2 closest compare irons I've ever tested. It was like hitting the same iron. If they don't look slightly different and the ZX4 looks slightly smaller with different lines, smaller lines in dimensions to that of the hot metal, then you could say that you were hitting the same golf club. But there are slight differences in looks. Again, 10 people, ask 10 people, you're going to get different replies off those 10 people because they all like different things. No different to the feel, the sound. The 923 hot metal is just fractionally quieter in its hit, but it's very close, and the ZX4 is fractionally more explosive, poppy. But again, the ZX4 is a full-on hollow head design, where the JPX923 hot metal is a standard cavity back design with a badge at the back so you can't see the gubbins behind it, just so it looks a bit better. But yeah, that's all down to subjectivity, and you ask 10 people and you'll get 10 different responses. So hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, YouTube likes it, thumbs up. We all like it. Down there is the subscribe button. It's free and it's brilliant for the channel if you could subscribe. Also down there, notification bell, that's next to the subscribe button. If you do that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Comment below, get comments down there. What do you think of the ZX4 and also of the hot metal? Have you used them? Have you got them in the bag? Have you tested them against each other, and what have you found? So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.